Okay, so, don't tell anyone that I am here. I know what you're thinking. Hey, aren't you that one mech armor guy? You know, the guy with the name that you still refuse to tell us? Yes. Isn't that Super X guy that typically does the supervillain episode? Yeah, I'm aware. However, I was the one to first catch this guy back when I worked in the superhero division department thing. So, it seems only fitting, now that he's escaped with the help of some yellow minion guy, that I should be the one to continue covering and dealing with him. And, if someone's gonna stop me, great, I don't care. Anyway, this Mario guy, I don't know what his name he goes by in the streets, I only know his birth name, Mario. Stupid? Yes. Anyway, he runs this weird shroom market. These weird mushrooms that give people superpowers. But he has one enemy out there. So, this one enemy that I was talking about was this dude named Bowser. Doug Bowser, specifically. Though, he calls himself Koopa King. For some bloody reason. Anyway, he's pretty much just a normal guy, no superpowers to speak of, but he does have this giant mech armor that kinda looks like a turtle. I guess he originally wanted it to be like an ox bull sort of thing, but the developer kind of messed up and made it a turtle, and honestly, I think he just went with it from there. Here, this mech armor is fairly basic. It's a giant one, to be certain, with Doug sitting in the torso, but overall, it has no special abilities to speak of, other than the fact that it can breathe fire. I'm not breathe fire, it can shoot flamethrowers out. Now, this guy also has a bit of a personal grudge against Mario. See, he used to date this one superpowered girl called Peaches. Stupid name. But anyway, she broke up with him and then started dating Mario. And he's been trying to put Mario away, mostly as an act of revenge. Personally, I think he should just move on, but, you know, I'm not a criminal mastermind. I don't know. I just don't know. Now, as I was saying, hello? Yeah, I'm sorry, this is the superhero division. I'm pretty sure you work in the mech armor division. Oh, well, you see, this is a mech armor, and so I was, you know, working on this mech armor. But it's in the superhero division. But it's a mech armor, so I'm going to be working on it. You got it? I believe you're slightly mentally drained. Get out of here before... Alright. However, Bowser wasn't always Mario's primary nemesis. In fact, before Bowser got onto the scene, Mario's nemesis was a guy named Donkey Kong, or as most people called him, DK. DK, though, had a tendency to take things a little too far in their fights. Their final battle was a historic event, where almost everyone remembers where they were the day it happened. And it was another time where DK possibly went too far. In the middle of New York City, DK managed to kidnap the mayor of New York City, a girl named Pauline, who also happened to be dating Mario at the time, which also probably kept him out of prison. He then took her to this construction site and kept her hostage atop of a large building. Having her as bait for Mario to come get her. Mario did, and had to climb up the constructed building. With all these weird pink girders. DK threw, I think he threw some fire, and there was some barrels, and there were barrels on fire. Here, but Mario had a bit of a trick up his sleeve. Before he was an ultimate drug cartel supervillain thing, he had worked a variety of jobs. And one of these jobs was as a construction worker, or more specifically, in demolition. So Mario decided, you know what? I'm going to take down the entire building in the process. Instead of doing anything rational, his first thought was, let's destroy the whole building. So he did that. He took a giant sledgehammer and started breaking the foundations. And the building started falling apart. And that was when DK met his end. And DK fell off the girders, falling and splattering on the ground. Or did he? You see, in recent years, he's actually made a bit of a comeback. And I don't know if this is actually a legitimate thing, but here's my theory on what's actually happening. I think this isn't the real DK, but DK's son. And that would make sense of how he seemingly survived if his being thrown off a tall building. But, that's just speculation, and Mario still sucks. So, I don't know if you guys can tell, but this drawing does look a bit less in quality compared to the other ones, and this is because this drawing was actually drawn over a year ago. Well, I don't even know if it was over a year. I drew it when the first Mario movie came out, and I hoped to release this episode sooner, but stuff got delayed, and, this episode kind of fell by the wayside until now. But I still had the drawing, and I still had the recording of the drawing, which has been filling up my storage for the past few months, and it's been very irritating, but, surprisingly enough, if it still compares in quality, when it comes to the rest of the drawings in the episode, despite being about a year apart. The only thing that I'd criticize about this one is that it does look a bit mech armory. It very much borders. Here's the mech armor superhero spectrum type of deal. Also, I wish I had done more shading on I think they're called girders, the weird pink stick thing, from the Donkey Kong games. But, other than those things, I hope you guys like the drawing. And I guess here it is. Now, the last one that we're going to discuss today honestly disturbs me a little bit. Now, you may be looking at this image while it's still loading and think, this is a child. Why is there a child here? Well, we actually locked up this child a few years before all this went down. But I'm covering it here because she was recently broken out of prison by Mario. Now you might be thinking, so you had a child imprisoned in a high-security prison. Why? Well, that's a very good question. First, this child is probably not a child. She has gone on to reference a bunch of historical events that have taken place thousands of years ago, so likely she is significantly older than she looks. Also, she's probably an alien. We are still debating on what actually she is, but current theories suggest that she is alien in nature. However, there's one other reason, which is that she's completely psychopathic. Now, I'm not the most stable-minded individual myself, but this girl scares me. She, every day in the prison, back when I used to work there, would go on and on and on about how much she wanted to die. She would say creepy things, like, the only hope to release is death, or more meat for the grinder, whenever a new prisoner came in. She scares me. Good riddance to her.